Hello, in this video, we're focusing on the practical concepts that you can actually apply in the real business world. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get on with it. Today's business world is more unpredictable and complex than ever, thanks to fast technology changes, tough global competition, new regulations, evolving customer needs, and ongoing disruptions. To tackle these challenges, companies often create detailed, multi-layered strategies that try to cover every possible risk and opportunity. However, when strategies become too complicated, they can actually fail because they are hard to understand and put into action. Employees may feel disconnected, decisions get delayed, and the main goals get lost. That's why simplifying complex strategies is such an important skill for leaders. Simplifying doesn't mean ignoring important details. It means focusing on what truly matters and cutting out anything confusing or distracting. In this video, we'll look at why simplification is valuable, how businesses can do it effectively, and the pros and cons of making strategies simpler. When a strategy is simple, it becomes much easier to execute because everyone understands the organization's priorities and can make decisions that support those goals without needing constant oversight. Research shows that execution often fails not because the strategy itself is flawed, but because it's too complex for people to follow effectively. Simplified strategies also speed up decision-making by reducing the need for complicated approval processes and giving clear guidance that helps employees act confidently. For example, if the focus is on maximizing customer lifetime value rather than short-term revenue, decisions about pricing or marketing become straightforward. This clarity helps everyone, from top leaders to frontline workers, align their efforts and fully engage with the strategy, as they can explain it in their own words and see how their work contributes to the bigger picture. Finally, a clear and simple strategy makes it easier to communicate with external stakeholders like investors and customers, building trust and support by clearly conveying what the company does, why it does it, and how it intends to succeed. Business strategies often become overly complex for several key reasons. One is the fear of oversimplification, where leaders worry that making a strategy too simple might overlook important risks or details. Another factor is consensus-driven decision-making. When trying to satisfy all stakeholders, strategies tend to pile on extra objectives and exceptions, making them more complicated. Organizational silos also play a role as different departments add their own priorities, which can bloat the strategic plans. Additionally, extensive data analysis or analytical overload can cause decision paralysis where too much information hinders clear insight. Lastly, a lack of strategic discipline means that without clear trade-offs, strategies try to address everything at once instead of focusing on what really matters. Recognizing these causes is essential because it helps us take the first step toward making strategy simpler and more effective. Effective business strategies start with clear, focused questions like where the organization will compete, how it will win, which capabilities to develop, and what it will avoid doing. This helps sharpen the strategy rather than making it overly broad. Next, it's important to recognize that strategy is about making choices, not just setting goals. Simplifying strategy means deciding what to prioritize and, equally, what to say no to, such as choosing between low-cost or premium offerings, focusing on a mass market or a niche, or emphasizing speed over customization. Writing these choices down keeps everyone aligned and prevents the strategy from drifting off course. Lastly, instead of having too many objectives, it's better to narrow down to 3 to 5 clear priorities. Each one should be well-defined, assigned to a known and measurable, and directly linked to supporting the overall strategy. This focused approach keeps the organization's efforts coordinated and effective. Using simple language helps make strategies clear and accessible to everyone, avoiding confusion that often comes with jargon. If you can't explain your strategy without complex terms, it probably needs to be clearer. One useful check is whether a frontline employee can easily explain the strategy to a customer without having to rely on slides. Visualizing the strategy through tools like maps, canvases, or diagrams is very effective because it helps leaders focus on priorities and see how different parts connect. Turning strategy into actionable principles offers straightforward behavioral guidelines that enable employees to make consistent decisions without detailed rules. For example, principles like customer problems before product features or automate before hiring give clear direction in day-to-day work. Looking at real examples, Apple simplifies its strategy by focusing on a few key areas like premium design and seamless user experience, which makes decision-making easier and strengthens their brand. Similarly, Southwest Airlines is known for operational simplicity, which helps them run efficiently in a competitive market. These examples show how simplifying strategy can lead to stronger execution and better results. Southwest Airlines focused on keeping things simple by using one type of aircraft, no assigned seating, point-to-point routes, and quick turnaround times. These choices made their operations easier to manage, cut costs, and allowed them to perform consistently in a difficult industry. Another example is a mid-sized European manufacturing firm that had over 20 strategic initiatives, which caused confusion and lowered profits. Leadership simplified their strategy to 3 clear priorities: excelling in core products, stopping unprofitable custom work, and investing in automation and better data visibility. This focused approach helped improve profitability significantly within 2 years. Simplifying strategy brings several advantages, such as clear focus, easier execution, faster response to change, better internal alignment, and stronger leadership credibility. However, it's important to be aware of the risks, like oversimplification, which can overlook important complexities. It's important to recognize that while simplifying strategy can improve clarity and execution, reducing complexity too much risks overlooking critical risks or market details. Certain industries need more sophisticated strategies because of regulations or technological challenges. Simplified strategies can also become inflexible if they aren't regularly updated, where what feels clear now might limit options later. Additionally, when priorities shift, some departments or individuals may resist changes, so strong leadership is necessary to navigate that tension. Another challenge is the false sense of certainty that simplicity might create, making it seem like the future is predictable. Leaders need to balance clear direction with humility and stay open to learning and adjusting as things evolve. Ultimately, simplification isn't about cutting for the sake of cutting, but about disciplined thinking that brings clarity, which is a competitive advantage in today's complex world. Organizations that master this can execute better, adapt faster, and align their teams more effectively. The best strategies don't have the most detail, but make clear choices, communicate them simply, and turn them into everyday actions. By embracing simplicity, leaders turn strategy from a static document into a practical guide that drives long-term success. If you found this video useful, there's plenty of more business and finance videos on the channel that you'll enjoy watching and get great practical value from. In the meantime, thanks for watching.